Today. Tom O'Neill has the ball in the hand, and Zach Smith wins the tip for Texas Tech. The winners of 4 straight and 5 of their last 6. That incredible stretch, 3 wins over ranked teams for the first time in program history consecutively. Trying to make it 5 straight conference wins for the first time since the final year in the Southwest Conference. Evans on the feed, and a quick foul is called as Zach Smith goes up top. And he'll go to the free throw line against J.D. Miller is the foul for TCU.
I expect both of these teams to play a lot of different styles of defense tonight. You'll see some zone. You'll see some man. TCU starts off in man.
TCU is one of the better defensive teams in the country in terms of its efficiency level. Ken Pom has them as a top 25 team in terms of efficiency. Smith splits the pair, and Brodzianski is there for the rebound. TCU's coming off a 3rd straight loss. Only lost by 9 on the road at Iowa State. They've had injury issues all season long. They've lost Kenrich Williams since the start of the year. They didn't have Chris Washburn for the first 11 games. And tonight they're missing both Kavar Shepard and Devontae Abram. Nearly turned over by Miller, and on the ground to get it is Evans. It'll be a jump ball, which keeps it with TCU.
Well, right away you see TCU wants to get the ball inside. They had a lot of success going inside early against Iowa State, and they want to do the same thing here tonight.
They played inside out that entire game. They knocked down 11 threes. Not a typically good 3-point shooting team. Had a very good shooting night against Iowa State because they played inside out. But their leading rebounder Shepard is out. He's missed 4 of the last 6 games now due to a lower back issue. And Devontae Abram, who gives him 5 points a game off the bench, is out with a quad strain. It's been the type of season for TCU. Injury plagued all year long. There's Collins at the top. Chauncey Collins hits a 3. He had 19 in the first meeting. A Texas Tech victory in Fort Worth.
Great start by Chauncey. He's one of those kids who loves to play basketball. He's in the gym and shooting a lot during the shoot around and is knocking down shots. So great start for him.
He's got the tough assignment of guarding Todrick Gotcher to start tonight. Offensive rebound TCU. Or Texas Tech, rather. There is Justin Gray, along with Keenan Evans, who's really come on as of late, averaging 15 over his last 5. Texas Tech offensively, they shot 55% of the first meeting against TCU. They've gotten better and better as the season has gone on. And Matthew Temple turns it over. Chauncey Collins was a major concern for Tubby Smith.
Exactly. Where you see Chauncey just catch the ball off a little handoff and too easy. Just drove to the top of the key and was able to get his feet set and knock down a big shot.
40% 3-point shooter. You have to get into a guy like that, into his airspace concept.
You're exactly right. You want to close out his airspace. You want to give him no room, and on cue he gets another one from the same spot and just came up a little short.
Here comes Evans for Texas Tech. There's some of the foul call by Tom O'Neill. This one will be against Michael Williams, his first. Texas Tech is dealing with some injury issues as well. This is their 10th consecutive game without Norrance Odiase. And Odiase, actually in the first meeting against TCU, ended up breaking the 4th metatarsal in his right foot. He is starting to get into the gym a little bit, though. They're hoping he'll be back for the Big 12 tournament. There's Todrick Gotcher, a career 36% 3-point shooter, putting Texas Tech on top.
Nice shot by Gotcher off of out-of-bounds play.
Vladimir Brodzianski kind of post up against Matthew Temple. That'll be an interesting matchup. Brodzianski is a very versatile offensive player. Going up against a walk-on in Temple. Slapped away, recovered by Parrish. Shot clock winding down. Williams, the floater, may have been deflected, but he got his own miss. And Michael Williams with the 2 to give TCU the lead again.
Well, there's no fear by Williams. It's a great drive by Williams. Dribble penetration, was able to get up a floater and was able to get his own rebound, but just staying with it. Hustle plays.
The guy 6'2", getting his own miss. Little pick and roll action. Smith gets some space, powers his way inside, and Zach Smith with his first field goal. One of the leading rebounders in the Big 12, averaging near double figures. Here's Parrish. And he drills a three, so TCU picking up where it left off in that game on the road in Iowa State. Temple, easy feed by Keenan Evans. And the walk-on, who's becoming a fan favorite in Lubbock, throws one down to tie it.
Great drive by Evans. Nice little drop off to the big fella.
Temple at 6'10", junior out of Wichita Falls. Miller working hard on the inside. Temple may have pushed off, though, to get the rebound. And that is going to be the call. So Matthew Temple gets tackled.
Nice pick and roll.
Zach Smith with ball movement. This is when Texas Tech is really good. When their ball movement is good, they get guys open looks.
Exactly. Dribble penetration is always key. You can drive, you get the ball to the basket, you'll always free up things.
Malik Trent in off the bench. He did not play against Texas Tech the first time, and it's knocked away by Todrick Gocher. It'll stay at this end of the floor with TCU on the other side of this break.
Right now, this is the best time of year to be doing so.
It really opened up a lot of eyes. Now one of 7 teams out of the Big 12 in Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology. You talked about J.D. Miller. He's got some slippery moves on the interior.
J.D. Miller is a nice-looking freshman. He comes in and he plays with a lot of confidence, and that's what TCU needs. They expect to come out with a victory tonight.
Explosive freshman out of Dallas getting it too. Smith to Gocher. Knocks down another three, and Todrick Gocher off to a hot start.
Talking to Gocher before the game, he really admires Chauncey Billups, and he's shooting the ball extremely well. Shooting it just like Mr. Big Shot used to shoot during his days.
He's got a similar body type, too, although he's a little bit more husky and a little more built than Billups, but it's a really smooth-looking shot.
You're exactly right.
Gocher picks up the foul.
Nice drive by Miller. It just goes to show that this young man has a lot of athleticism, and it's a great sign for TCU. And then off a little pass in the interior, then back out to Gocher. Gocher got his feet set, and he definitely knows what to do with it.
Aaron Ross, who's really been playing well offensively as of late. 7 straight double-figure performances. A career-long streak checks in. Miller misses both. TCU's the worst free-throw shooting team in the Big 12. But a whistle and a foul is called against Matthew Temple. And Temple, at the 15:04 mark, has already picked up his second foul.
And to your point about Aaron Ross, he's one of those players that come off the bench with a lot of energy. He's actually leading Texas Tech in scoring in conference.
Temple comes out. Zach Smith is back in. Ross is out there with Gocher and Gray. And Evans as well.
This has been the story for Texas Tech all year long. They had to mix up the lineup. Different guys had to step up and play different positions, and also, you know, play different roles at that.
Odiase injury has really done a number on the rotation, but it's actually been a blessing in disguise if you ask some of the Texas Tech coaching staff. Turned over, Zach Smith rips it away, and here comes Tech up by 1. 5+ minutes into this first half. 127th meeting between Texas Tech and TCU. If the Big 12 tournament started today, they'd play each other. Ross trying to slither it inside. Good foul by Zach Smith, who's got 5 for Texas Tech, which has its largest lead at 3.
And that's what Zach does extremely well. He just hangs around the basket. He has a 43-inch vertical, and this young man is a great athlete.
Good look, and Malik Trent, who was another concern for Tubby Smith for this TCU team because he didn't play the first time around. They're going to have to get out on Malik Trent, who hasn't shot the ball well this year, but was really good in junior college last year.
Well, you're exactly right. Malik Trent coming off a big game against Iowa State. They're playing a lot of confidence, so he's just picking up where he left off.
At 17 at Iowa State. Aaron Ross off the bench doing what he's been doing. Knocks down a 2. And Tom Eads is going to blow a quick whistle. He's going to go over to Aaron Ross. Not sure if Ross was jawing or talking or something along those lines.
Well, if you look here, you see Aaron Ross get a nice shot on the baseline, and then he kind of turns a little bit and kind of jaws with the bench a little bit.
Right in front of Tom Eads.
Right in front of the official. Exactly right.
And Tom Eads, a veteran guy, has got big-time NCAA tournament experience. Not going to stand for that. There is Collins on the drive. Very smooth. He's the second leading scorer, averaging 11. He's already got 5.
Collins off to a great start. We saw him step up and knock down a big three, and now we see him on dribble penetration.
Gocher again. That's his first miss from the outside. A bad one. Chauncey Collins is going to be an important cog for TCU if they want to win this game.
Well, you're exactly right. Texas Tech going to have to stop people, get them out the lane. They have a lot of guys who can actually rotate over and kind of defend a little bit and block the shots, but no one rotated on that position.
On the back down, Chris Washburn can't get it to go. Brodzianski takes a tough fall to the deck. Here comes Texas Tech on the push, and it's Williams all the way inside. Devontae Williams has been coming off the bench to give this team a little bit more offensive spark. He's averaging 11. He's their leading scorer, and he's coming in off the bench.
Coach asked Devontae to step up and play more aggressive, and boy, has he stepped up to the plate and done so.
High IQ players. Chris Washburn, the junior out of Grand Prairie. The blitz comes. He finds Parrish. What a pass! And he knocks down the three. Parrish with his second. That was a heck of a pass by Washburn. We just said he's a high IQ guy. Exactly right. Great pass by Washburn, and even better shot by Parrish. Boy, Gocher gets another good look, and he can't connect. Another offensive rebound run down by Smith, the 6th leading rebounder of the Big 12. Great play, great strip by Malik Trent. He got his hands on it and forces a jump ball. Watch this play by Washburn. Nice job by Washburn, just understanding and being aware of double team, and kicks it out to an open shooter. And once you get your feet set and you're a good shooter like Parrish is, got to knock it down. 42% three-point shooter. When he shoots over 50%, or in their wins, he shoots over 50%. In their losses, he shoots about 33%. Major difference. When he plays well, TCU's good. Devin Thomas is in off the bench. Gocher and Evans both went to the bench to get a breather. So Williams handles the point guard duties. Thomas Jr. out of Silver Springs, Maryland. He's the backup point guard. They've got ball handlers out there. Good take by Williams. He touched it, grabbed it, but he was out of bounds. And it'll be TCU ball on the other side. 7 lead changes. If you want to watch it, Kansas is still in position to win its 12th straight Big 12 regular season championship. That's incredible. If they win tonight and beat Texas Tech on Saturday, they clinch a share. You're exactly right. I mean, they're on course to possibly have a share or win their 12th one, but it's unbelievable. Tubby Smith was praising Bill Self, and rightfully so, about that earlier today. It's incredible the consistency that Kansas program has shown. Brodzianski, who had 18 points in the first meeting, gets his first 2. And now 6 different Horned Frogs and 5 different Red Raiders have scored in this game. Great job by Brodzianski, just putting the ball on the floor and able to turn over his left shoulder with a soft hook. Gocher and Evans are still on the bench right now getting a breather. Thomas is still out there for Texas Tech. There's Ross. Shot clock at 5 for Thomas. With Brodzianski closing in on the help side, he's still got the finger roll to go down off the glass. Well, it's just great patience shown there by Texas Tech. They didn't rush anything. They moved the ball around until they got the look that they wanted. Great drive by Thomas. 12 different players have scored at the 39 points, nearly halfway through this first half. Washburn. Let the defense go by. He's got an ISO against Ross and using the left hand. That is a tough shot, and he's the 13th different player to score in this game. Tough shot by Washburn. Just turned over his right shoulder with the left soft hook shot there. If you're Aaron Ross, you want to keep him out of the paint area. You want to make sure that you keep him out as far as possible. Brodzianski foul. Check this out. How about this move by Washburn? He was able to dribble the ball all the way in from the three-point line and turn over his right shoulder with a soft hook. It's a great job. Great individual effort. So important for him off the bench. Ross trying to power through. Here comes Malik Trent on the push. 2-on-2. Collins deterred by Smith. Texas Tech comes back. Williams, that's a 2. Kept alive for Smith, and he's fouled by Washburn, and he'll go to the free throw line. Wow, I tell you what, Zach Smith runs the floor extremely well in transition, was able to
kind of offset the shot a little bit, then got back on the offensive end for the big offensive rebound. Now a chance to step up to the line and knock down 2 free throws.
A hustle play by Zach Smith, sophomore out of Plano, Texas. Well, we've been doing this all season long. Another great Super Saturday coming up for you. Saturday primetime on ESPN, presented by DirecTV. North Carolina hammered Miami on Saturday. Then Miami beat Virginia last night. Then we got a great NBA ball game. Warriors and Thunder. Golden State is ahead of the Bulls' pace of that 95-96 season. They're 50-5. No big deal. Steph Curry just dropped 36 last night against Atlanta.
Just a remarkable feat by Golden State Warriors. They're playing extremely well right now. They've been playing well all season long.
Yeah. Looking like a transcendent year. Malik Trent can't get the bounce. Ross is there for the rebound. Here's Smith against Brodzianski. That was well defended. He forced him out of the paint there.
Great defensive effort right there, but it's allowed Smith to get a little bit too deep. He was able to get the position that he wanted, and if you're Brodzianski, you want to make sure you move him off the block and make sure you move him out of the middle of the lane.
Now Brodzianski, who can shoot from out there too. He's got a very versatile skill set. Parrish lost it. Numbers for Texas Tech. Thomas for Gray, and it's broken up. And Thomas went down hard. Good to see him back up on his feet. Good job by TCU to get back in transition. Something that Trent Johnson really told us about today. He did not like their transition defense against Iowa State.
Well, you saw Thomas get out in transition and saw a streaking Gray running down the lane and was able to lob it up there to him, and just Gray was unable to handle the basketball.
Parrish got in there as well to help play some free safety and break it up.
But to your point, Adam, yes, Trent Johnson was talking about one of the keys to the victory tonight was going to be transition defense. They did a great job on that possession getting back in transition defense.
Ross will trigger a three.
And that's something Ross is very capable of doing. He can face you up and knock down threes, or he can play with his back to the basket. He's a very versatile player.
Collins, he'll fire over Gray. That's his second three. He's got 8 points. And Texas Tech once again trailing by 2. Back and forth ball game. We've had 9 lead changes in the first half.
Great sign by TCU. They're knocking down their shots. They're doing a great job of getting back in transition defense as well.
TCU is 5 of 6 from 3-point range, picking up where they left off against Iowa State. Thomas late in the clock, looking on pick and roll. Gray can't connect. Good second effort by Rokas Uvidas, who's only playing in his 6th game this year. Again, Temple picked up 2 fouls 5 minutes in, so to get some size in, they're putting in Uvidas, who's only played 16 minutes all year. Parrish. The closeout from Thomas was late, and that is 6 threes for TCU. Parrish has half of them, and it's the largest lead for TCU at 5.
Well, TCU is on fire right now from shooting the ball long range.
Williams, the pitch to Gray, and it'll be sure enough. He did a good job, and Tubby Smith invited him as a walk-on to the team, and Matthew Temple's played good minutes, although he's on the bench with 2 fouls right now.
Well, he should have. And he also played high school basketball with J.T. Barrett from Ohio State, so he's no stranger to playing the game of basketball.
You said he was a better basketball player than J.T. Barrett at Rider High School, although it was a pretty good team. Here comes TCU on the push. Williams, man, he's got speed. A little bit out of control. Now he settles it down.
Great push by Williams. A wise decision to back it back out.
TCU plays at a relatively faster tempo than Texas Tech does in terms of possessions per game.
You're exactly right. They want to push the ball when they can and try to get some easy scores in transition, but when they don't have it, they've been doing a good job in this game of backing it out and getting something set in the half court.
And knocking down shots. That's 4 threes for Brandon Parrish. He had 14 points total in his last 3 games. He's got a dozen in this first half, and TCU with an RPI of 162 has its largest lead on Texas Tech with 6 to play.
Well, they are lights out right now from the 3-point area. They're shooting 7 for 8 from the three-point line, which is amazing.
Aaron Ross on the shot. Ends up a foul against Chris Washburn, his second.
Where here you see Parrish just come off a little brush screen and decides to pull it back and do it on his own. Saw he had a mismatch with Ross. Ross' feet wasn't set. Just able to step up and knock it down.
Ross at the free throw line. Already 5 points off the bench. 16 the first meeting against TCU in Fort Worth.
Well, we talked about the confidence that Texas Tech is playing with, but boy, oh boy, TCU is playing with a lot of confidence as well tonight.
Ross hit the big three with about 2:45 to go in the first meeting. That gave Texas Tech a 2-point lead, and they held on to win that game in Fort Worth, 76-69. He was perfect from the floor in that game, and he's got 7 points off the bench tonight for Texas Tech. Those 2 points end a 9-0 TCU run.
Well, looking back at the last game Texas Tech and TCU played, they played fairly well, so they felt they could have won the basketball game. So that's the reason why I think they're out tonight playing with extreme confidence.
Parrish, his first miss of the night from the floor. He had been 4 of 4. Second chance for TCU. Collins on the push. Beautiful drive. Double figures for Chauncey Collins already.
Well, that's one thing Tubby Smith talked about in shoot-around, how they needed to limit TCU to one shot, and they did a poor job on doing that.
Zach Smith throws it down off the Williams feed.
Zach Smith showing us a little bit of that 43-inch vertical that he has. Just a great athletic move. Going up, catching the ball strong with 2 hands and reverse slam.
Woo! They're ready to see that tonight. Brodzianski left it short. Good job by Parrish to save it. It never hit rim. Shot clock at 10.
Great hustle play by Parrish. I didn't think William knew exactly what time was on the shot clock.
That gets blocked by Ross. So the Smith dunk gets Texas Tech's defense going. Smith again!
And why not? Great job. Zach Smith gave him something in a big way.
The TCU got up to an 8-point lead. They were on a 9-0 run. And now Texas Tech has gotten back to within 4 on those 2 impressive Smith leaps. They've got Gocher guarding Parrish. Remember, Parrish has already hit 4 threes in this game. Shot clock down to 5. Good defense by Evans. Knocked away by Smith. Shot clock at 1. Miller will hoist. That's a couple of back-to-back Texas Tech defensive possessions that have looked really good after Smith has brought some life to this place.
You're exactly right. Solid effort there by Texas Tech coming out of the timeout. Was able to get that stop, and now they just need to go down and execute in the half court and get themselves back into this ball game even further than they are.
Evans against Collins, finds Ross. In and out on the 3.
Nice look by Ross, though. If I'm Coach Tubby Smith, I'm okay with that great drive by Evans, just drawing and then dishing.
Parrish slapped by Gocher. Gocher kept it alive, and here comes Texas Tech. Now Smith driving, and it's knocked away by Trent, but a foul.
You gotta like the effort Gocher just showed on that last possession. He was taking this one-on-one battle with Parrish personal, and he did a great job of coming up with a big block.
Yeah, between them, they've knocked down 6 threes.
Doing an amazing job tonight on offensively.
Both teams shooting very well. Texas Tech 48%, TCU 52. Turned over, though, by the Red Raiders. That's their 4th. Nice slip. Parrish got inside. J.D. Miller just able to find it and patiently got it to Parrish.
Great job by Miller. But if you Gocher on the other end, you got to make sure when you drive the lane, you don't want to leave your feet unless you for sure know where the pass can go. I mean, he got himself into trouble once he left his feet there.
That's going to be a fun matchup if it stays that way. Parrish and Gocher. Ross getting space, flipped it up, and Brodzianski's there for the board. 2:40 to play first half. Texas Tech doing it in the paint. TCU doing it from the outside early. Collins all the way, and a foul called on Evans. You talked about TCU's transition. They don't want to force it, but when it's there, they'll take it.
Well, here you just see Miller. I mean, he has the ability to put the ball on the floor and drive, and he did a great job of drawing and then dishing, and Paris was in the right place. He was recipient of a nice dribble penetration by Miller.
TCU has missed all 3 of its free throws. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the conference. It's been a point of contention for Trent Johnson so far this season. One of the worst in the country last season. They had issues with it last season at under 62%. They're about 66% this year. Trent splits a pair.
When you're on the road, it's going to be important that you're knocking down free throws.
Here's Smith over Brodzianski. And Trent was there. Good save. He stuck with it. And here comes TCU up by 7. Coaching 2 to play. Collins lost it. Evans slid. It's out of bounds.
A little bit out of Smith's range. I mean, that's not something he normally does extremely well. That little 15-footer. Anything inside of 10 feet, anything especially around the rim, he's going to go get it and clean it up.
Gray's going to come back in for Texas Tech. He'll get Evans. He's kind of limping back towards the bench after that effort shown on the sideline. You know, since those 2 Smith dunks, we talked about it, how the energy level's been up for Texas Tech on D. TCU doesn't have field goal.
Well, outside of the Paris layup, I believe that's the only field goal TCU has had since the dunks.
Fouling a 3-point shooter, though, and Collins is going to go to the line. Gocher picks up his 2nd foul at the 1:55 mark. So Collins back to the stripe.
Gocher is a very important part of this Texas Tech team. He has to make sure that he's being careful and selective on his fouls.
Collins misses another one. Good NBA action coming your way tomorrow. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. So the Wizards are 3 back in the loss column of the Bulls for the 8th spot in the East. And then the Kings are 3 back of the Rockets for the 8th spot in the East. They'll take on the Spurs in Sacramento. 8 o'clock and 10:30. NBA Countdown charged by Dew at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN. Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Big game for both of those teams you just mentioned.
TCU back up to a 9-point lead. It's their largest of this game. Collins made 2 of 3. 1:40 to play first half.
You know, in talking to both coaches, they were expressing how executing is extremely important. And that meant on the half-court offensive set and even in transition.
Good take by Trent, counted on a foul. And TCU is up double digits with 88 seconds to go in this first half. Thomas on the chase, couldn't catch up. Cleanly got the foul.
Great job by Trent, just pushing the ball up the floor.
And Malik Trent off the bench, their leading scorer. At 11.2 a game, he's got 7. It's another TCU run. This time it's 8-0. Texas Tech hasn't scored in 3 minutes.
I'll tell you what, TCU came out and they were shooting lights out from the perimeter. But as of late, they're starting to get things going to the basket.
Whistle and a foul called on J.D. Miller, his 2nd. Again, there is some magnitude to this game. There is some weight to this game for Texas Tech, a team that is really hot. 4 wins in a row, 3 against ranked teams. They've won 5 of 6. Tubby Smith's team in the latest bracketology was an 8 seed. That's a good spot to be in. And they're at home against the last place team in the Big 12. Tubby Smith knew this was going to be a tough game. That being said, though, home losses hurt you a lot in the RPI and more specifically in the basketball power index that ESPN has put together. This is going to be a loss that would hurt. So Texas Tech still has a long way to go, but this is not a loss that they can really afford.
Well, you're exactly right. With 4 games left to go in the season, you make sure you want to make sure you're taking care of home court. They have 2 games at home. This one And then their last game is at home, so they definitely have to make sure that they're playing extremely well. Last game's at home against Kansas State, so you have to make sure you're playing extremely well and get the victory.
They've got 2 big road games against Kansas and West Virginia, so obviously a win in one of those certainly goes a long way to helping, but you don't want to risk it with a loss tonight.
You're exactly right. This is another one of those trap games, so to speak, for Texas Tech.
Devontae Williams picks up his second foul. So Collins, who spent a lot of time at the stripe tonight, will go back. He's 3 of 5.
You better believe this TCU team has been listening to what all the commentators are saying about their position and where they were staying. If the conference play started tonight, they'll be playing Texas Tech, so they wanted to make sure they come out tonight and play extremely hard, extremely aggressive, and try to come out with a victory.
Now this would be the 7-10 game. Tom Eads called a lane violation or a foul?
I think it was a lane violation.
Lane violation. It was against Aaron Ross. So it'll be another free throw chance for Collins here, and he makes the most of it. 12-point TCU lead, 60 seconds first half.
Well, Trent Johnson's team has come out and executed extremely well in the half-court set and even on the defensive side as well.
Ross kept it alive for Smith, and Zach Smith can't get the roll. Tapped up by Gray, grabbed by Ross. He lost it. Trent is there, tied up by Evans, and a foul.
Boy, oh boy, what a change of events that just took place. Well, a couple offensive rebounds by Texas Tech, and I mean, you be the judge. Was this a foul or was it a jump ball?
Naked eye first look felt like a jump ball, because it felt like it was going both ways. I know it felt like maybe Evans might have been reaching. It just felt like it was going both ways.
And I agree with you, and these fans agree with you as well.
Well, that's not surprising by any means, the home standing ones, but I mean, it just felt like it was a 50-50 ball. Trent, again, makes the most of it. He knocks down a pair of free throws, and TCU has ballooned its first half lead to 14 points. This has been the Big 12 story this season. Is there a bottom of the league? A lot of coaches will tell you there is no bottom to this league. This time it's a foul against Brandon Parrish, and that'll induce some Bronx cheers in West Texas.
Well, I tell you what, on any given night, if you don't bring your A game, then you could very well get beat.
So Ross back to the stripe. Already 4 of 4 at the line. He's the 4th best free throw shooter in the Big 12 at 84%. Playing in his 79th career game. He's always been a bench guy. He's dealt with knee injuries most of his career, but an incredibly productive guy in 22 minutes a game off the bench.
Exactly right. He has had 2 knee injuries, and he's battled back, and he's playing extremely well. I mean, no one expected him to be playing as well as he's playing right now, but he's doing a great job coming off the bench. Possibly in consideration for the 6th man of the year in this conference.
Certainly. Double figures and 4.5 boards a game. He's got double figures tonight. At this time of the year, this late in the season, at home, more important.
Well, you're exactly right. Like as I mentioned, you definitely want to make sure you're taking care of home court. And with 2 games left at home, you want to make sure you come out with 2 victories.
Aaron Ross is going to pick up a foul. That'll be his first of the night. And this Collins drive, he's been so aggressive, Chauncey Collins, tonight.
That was a great drive by Collins. A good thought process by Aaron, but he just got there a little bit too late. His feet was not set. He wasn't outside their restricted area. His feet wasn't set.
A big half for Chauncey Collins. 16 already. Make it 17 in the first half. He had 19 in the first meeting. His career high is 20. He's done it twice, both against Texas Tech. 17 first half points for TCU, which has put up 47.
I'll tell you what, if he comes out in the second half and plays anything like he's played in the first half, he would definitely set a new career high.
Ross on the interior, beating the buzzer. A big bucket for Texas Tech at the end of this first half. Their first field goal from 3-point range in that first half, and overall 56%.
You know, one of the big keys here for TCU is if they can sustain what they started in the first half. They can come out and put together 2 complete halves, and they have a good chance of coming out here with a victory.
It would only be their second ever Big 12 road victory. The only other one came last season against Texas Tech. Late in the clock, Collins has to hoist. Not a good offensive possession, and Brodzianski ends up picking up his second foul of the night.
Poor offensive possession by TCU coming out of the break.
Meanwhile, Texas Tech, their largest comeback victory this season was the first meeting against Oklahoma State. They trailed by 12 in that game. They trailed by 14 in the first half and 12 at halftime. Keenan Evans lays it off for Zach Smith. Good penetration, and they're going to need more of that. Evans with his 4th assist of the night.
Great drive by Evans, and there's that guy again. Mr. Smith being in the right place at the right time.
Yep. Another double-figure performance for him. That's 4 of the last 5 games. Parrish. Crowd thought he got away with a push-off. Gray might have tried to sell it a little bit, and Parrish ends up with airspace. You can't give this guy space to shoot.
Well, not tonight. I mean, normally he may not shoot the ball. Sometimes he comes out, he's a little streaky on the shots, but tonight he's been red hot. Lights out.
Big shot. This is the guy, Todrick Gocher, who can light things up in a hurry. He had 21 of his 24 against Iowa State. Rather, Oklahoma State, I should say, in the second half. So he got it going very quickly against the Cowboys on Saturday.
Well, he's definitely no stranger to knocking down shots and taking big shots at that.
Smith coming over for the block. 8 on the shot clock for TCU.
Texas Tech's trying to get back in. Nice pass to Gocher for knockdown 3. And here's Smith just coming over on the left side.
Shot clock at 4. Knocked away. Evans the knock away, and here he comes on the push. Stepping through, muscling his way in, and Keenan Evans with his first points. Texas Tech back within 7. Timeout TCU. Start this half.
Well, they always say the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of each game is extremely important, and Texas Tech is off to a great start.
And Brodzianski frustrated after he gets nothing on that 3-point shot. He's going to hear it now.
Well, just a poor shot by Brodzianski. That is not necessarily his game. I mean, he's normally a good back, low post guy with back to the basket, and he just needs to be a little bit patient. I know he's having a rough time tonight of getting the basketball. We just have to be patient, stay the course.
Evans. Gocher for 3.
What a crossover by Evans. And he definitely knew who to find. His man Gocher for another 3.
He's got 4 of those tonight, and it's a 4-point game. That'll be a foul against Evans. He'll pick up his 3rd at the 17:07 mark. This is the guy you want to find. 2 threes out of the gate in the second half.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, he patterns his game after Chauncey Billups, and he's definitely playing like him tonight. Call him Mr. Big Shot.
36% career shooter. He's knocked down 127 threes. Gocher has in his career. Evans picks up his 3rd foul. So he comes off and Devin Thomas is in.
You know, Thomas has played extremely well when he's in the ball game. So it shouldn't be any letdown.
And I think Gocher's played a really nice game defensively as well. I'm surprised he hasn't picked up more fouls. When he gets his hands in on these shots, he's coming away with some blocks.
Well, you're exactly right. Gocher picked up 2 quick fouls, and he's been a lot more patient. He's been doing a better job of moving his feet on the defensive end.
Thomas going up with Collins. Didn't want to reach too far. Might have ended up picking up the foul instead. Collins finds Washburn. Shovels it out for Malik Trent. Rebounded by Smith.
Well, I think Washburn was looking for his partner there on the interior, and J.D. Miller, and Miller didn't know he wasn't ready, and it ended up in the hands of Trent.
Who picks up his 2nd foul. It is a 10-2 start to this half for Texas Tech. And on a 4-game win streak, trying to keep that momentum going. 3 of those wins against ranked opponents. And into that NCAA tournament picture as an 8 seed right now. And a top 25 RPI.
Well, after shooting 55.5% from the field, TCU has come out and they're shooting only, I think they're 1 for 5 so far in this half.
Meanwhile, Texas Tech is 5 of 5 from the floor. Thomas. Gerard said it. He's played well off the bench. He cuts the lead to 2. It's a 10-0 run for Texas Tech. Brutal looking shot by Trent. Texas Tech and Tyre take the lead.
Nice job by Texas Tech, not being in a hurry, pulling it back out, being patient.
Yeah, with the crowd up, the energy up, you could easily take a quick shot there.
Exactly. When they have the momentum and they want to keep it.
Smith to tie. Brady offensive rebound. Gocher for the lead. Left it short. And a good rebound by J.D. Miller, the freshman.
I'll tell you what, it's really good basketball being played right now by both teams, especially Texas Tech coming out of the half.
Miller is going to trigger a deep one. J.D. Miller from 3 is 3 of 13 this year. That's not his game at all.
Well, although he's a versatile player, that's exactly right. It's not Miller's game. You want to definitely try to get the ball on the floor, dribble penetration, or go down and post up.
Smith from Temple. That ties the game at 49. Good high-low.
Nice give and go by Temple and Smith.
And a foul called on Devin Thomas. That's the second time.
Just want to keep coaching the game of basketball because he loves to do so, and he's a great coach at that.
64 years of age in his 3rd season at Texas Tech.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer in my book.
Yeah, I agree. Collins at the line for 3 free throws. Texas Tech has overcome its largest deficit of the season to come back and tie this game at 49. Collins gets 2 to put him back up 2. With his first 2 points of the second, he's got 19 to lead TCU.
Well, Texas Tech is coming to the second half. They're shooting 75% from the field. I mean, they're shooting lights out.
4 assists.
And on the other side, you got TCU shooting only 12%.
Yep. 4 assists on 6 buckets already in the second half for Texas Tech. Shot clock inside at 10. Thomas into a tough spot. Ross driving inside. Got it to go. Ties the game at 51. 15 for Aaron Ross.
Excellent clock management by Texas Tech. Not once did they hurry or rush anything. They were patient all the way down to the end into that drive by Ross. Great finish by Aaron Ross.
TCU led by 14 in the first half. They led by 12 at halftime. They were 7 of 11 from three-point range in the first half. Can they sustain that hot shooting is the question in the second.
Where here you see Aaron not rushing, not being patient, not just forcing up a bad shot, getting the ball on the floor, driving to the middle, and poor defensive if you're TCU. No help. Side defense on that possession.
You got to have it that late in the clock, I would think, right? When you know the only shot is on the interior.
Exactly.
A nice effort by Thomas and Williams, both going up high for that one. It'll stay with TCU. We've said it a couple of times tonight, but if you ask any coach in the Big 12, and frankly a lot of coaches nationally, they will tell you that there is no bottom to the Big 12, and it's because TCU has played a ton of teams tough all year, and a lot of them on the road in Big 12 play. Thomas the steal, looking for Smith. They do it again. Texas Tech takes the lead.
There's that Thomas and Smith connection again. Great job by Thomas coming up with the steal. Great job by Smith running the floor.
They've come all the way back from down 14 to go up 2 here. Parrish, tough drive, strong drive, and it'll be a Gray foul, sending the junior to the line.
Well, here you see Thomas just doing a great job of getting his hands on this ball, and Smith running the floor extremely well. And when you can sky like Smith, why not just toss it up anywhere, and Smith is going to go get it.
Third alley-oop dunk for Smith tonight. Gerard mentioned it earlier, a 43-inch vertical. Tubby Smith called him Tayshaun Prince without the jump shot in terms of his athleticism and the way he kind of stuffs the stat sheet and does things outside of the stat sheet to help the team as well.
This young man is a very good, talented ball player. He has a chance of playing possibly professionally someday if he just keeps working.
Texas Tech with its first lead since the 14:25 mark of the first half. It was 13-10 at that point. That's when TCU went on a couple of long runs to bulge the lead up to 14.
You know, Adam, how many players are extremely confident in their role coming off the bench? And I'll tell you one guy, Aaron Ross, I mean, he's extremely confident in his role, coming off the bench as a sixth man and playing extremely efficient.
He's been on this team for a few years now. Redshirt junior has been coming off the bench his entire career. Williams will pick up his third. He's fishing now. Hope Bob's doing well. And his former team, Texas Tech, has come all the way back. A 1-point trail by 14, took the lead. TCU back out in front. Their first points in the paint in this half, and it gives them a 54-53 lead on Miller's 4th point of the night.
Good offensive rebound by Miller, just a product of being in the right place at the right time.
Aaron Ross on the drive. Miller picks up his 3rd foul. Again, since Bob Knight was the head coach, his son split the season in 07-08 with him, and then took over until 2011. Billy Gillespie, Chris Walker, and now Tubby Smith. Bobby Knight took him to 4 NCAA tournaments in 7 years. They haven't been back since 2007. And Gerard Ward, a Michigan grad and former player, you've had your run-ins at points with Bob Knight, I would imagine, at some point.
Well, I sure have. I mean, he was at Indiana, and you know, we gave him one of the worst losses my senior year at Michigan. I think it was one of my better games as well. So it was exciting and fun to play against Coach Knight.
Aaron Ross, who had a perfect game from the floor the first time around, has had a perfect night at the free throw line and has 17 points. 3 double-figure scores for Texas Tech, 2 for TCU. Adam Amin, Gerard Ward on hand in Lubbock, Texas. Miller unable to finish, got his own miss. Way to stick with it by the young man, and he's got 6.
Great job by Miller. I mean, he's extremely athletic. He does a great job of getting around the basket and scoring the basketball at will.
Here is Ross in the paint, stripped by Washburn. Good play. Super Saturday coming up for you. Great college game on ESPN. Game day will be in Charlottesville, and then 7th-ranked UNC will take on 3rd-ranked Virginia. Carolina leading the rest of the ACC by a full game in the loss column. Then on ABC at 8:30, NBA action. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors at 50-5 will take on the 3rd seed in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Saturday primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Brandon Parrish picks up a foul. That'll be his 2nd, and that will send Gocher to the line.
Texas Tech right now doing a great job of getting the ball inside, whether it's off of dribble penetration or passing in the interior. They're doing an excellent job of getting the ball on the inside and trying to score.
And they've shot well from 3-point range, but it hasn't felt like they've forced many 3-point looks. It feels like it's been on decent ball movement.
Well, they've been red hot this whole second half. I mean, they're shooting, like I said, 72% right now. Doing a great job.
Step back from Miller over Smith. J.D. Miller with a tough shot. Coming off his first career double-double. He's got 8.
Well, it had, up until this point, it had been all backcourt for TCU in Collins and Parrish. But now you have J.D. Miller getting to the action. He scored the last 3 baskets for TCU. Great little step back by Miller.
Tom Eads gets a foul against Malik Trent. It'll be his third.
You know, I mentioned in the opener how the freshman Miller had a double-double in his first start against Iowa State. So he's one of those players that has a lot of confidence in his abilities, and he can really play this game of basketball. Still young, still learning, still growing, but he's doing a great job for Trent Johnson.
8 points, 3 boards, 2 assists tonight for J.D. Miller. We've got Parrish guarding Gocher. Watch 20 on the far side of the floor. He's going to try to get free.
But this has been a fun matchup, Parrish and Gocher, all night.
No doubt, man. Good cut by Gocher. Lost it. Smith got it back. Miller with a great defensive play. And it'll be a jump ball, which will keep it with Texas Tech.
What a nice defensive play by Miller. That's just amazing. I mean, just a heads-up play. He just turned at the right time and was able to get his hand on the ball.
That looks clean from this angle, man.
You're exactly right. Clean all the way through.
Shot clock inside of 10. Thomas on the deck. Some contact as he made his way into the lane. Got hit up top. And Tom O'Neal got a foul against Michael Williams.
If you're TCU, you have to know with the shot clock being under 10, Texas Tech is going to go into some type of screening roll. And they chose to go to a high screening roll with Thomas and Ross. And they have to be ready for it. You're going to have to hedge. You're going to have to make sure you're rotating on help side on the interior.
Halfway through the second. Gocher against Parrish, and Washburn reaches in and picks up his third foul at the 9:59 mark.
Boy, oh boy, Texas Tech is having all type of success when they're driving the ball to the hole.
Yep. It is bonus time the rest of the way for Texas Tech. 17 fouls against TCU. This is a shooting foul for Gocher.
Where it's clear for Texas Tech exactly what you should be doing the rest of the game. I mean, it's bonus. You're in the bonus with a little bit under 10, well, a minute under 10 minutes to go in the game, so you need to drive to the hole.
And remember, Texas Tech, best free throw shooting team in the Big 12 at just a shade under 75%. Gocher does split a pair here, though, and we're tied at 58. Good pressure from Texas Tech. Parrish might have gotten away with a walk.
The crowd thinks so.
I thought he got away with a walk right at midcourt. Ends up taking advantage. Miller with another good play. The assist to Parrish, who's got 19.
Well, Miller has had his hands on all types of things as of late. If he wasn't scoring the basketball, he's rebounding the basketball. If he's not rebounding the basketball, he's passing it to a guy who is scoring the basketball. And he's still coming up with big blocks as well.
He's played well both ends. Ross is going to go to the free throw line. That foul against Williams, his third.
Great job by Miller, just staying active, keeping his hands on the ball, and then able to just slip it through 2 defenders to Parrish.
That's the second time he's done that. Little slip in traffic. Doesn't play like a freshman. I don't think J.D. Miller does. And he was a great recruit out of Dallas.
I'll tell you what, he's almost had a full year under Trent Johnson, and he has blossomed into a pretty good ball player. And for Miller, you just have to expect there's more to come. I mean, like I said, he's just a freshman, so he has 3 more years to really, really develop and grow into his own.
Ross sinks both. Aaron Ross, 10 of 10 at the free throw line, tied at 60. 9:20 to play. TCU looking for the rarest of rare, a Big 12 road win. Texas Tech trying to keep the momentum going and avoiding a bad RPI loss at home. Miller never panicked, got a decent look, and a whistle and a foul call, though, against TCU. It'll be the 4th against Michael Williams. So he's picked up a handful of fouls in a quick spurt. Well, one of the starters for TCU at the 9:06 mark has 4.
Well, I like the way Miller didn't panic, but if you're TCU, someone has to go over and help Miller when you see that trap. I mean, you have to give him a pass or someone he can release, pressure release valve so he can pitch the ball out to him.
And again, as you mentioned, Texas Tech is in the bonus the rest of the way since about the 10-minute mark. So this is 1-1 for Aaron Ross. Texas Tech started 8 of 17 at the free throw line against Oklahoma State. They finished 13 of 13 to help them close out a win.
Boy, Aaron Ross is having a monster of a game. Where would Texas Tech be without Aaron Ross tonight?
And he's been perfect at the line. He's added 3 rebounds. He's played well on defense, and he's put up 20 points tonight.
All for 4 and 9 shooting.
Yeah, doing it all at the stripe, man.
And this is a guy who battled back from 2 knee injuries.
Yep.
Never lost his confidence, or rather he may have got shaken a little bit, but he regained and he's playing extremely well.
One shy of his career high of 22. He's got 21 tonight. Thomas knocked it away. Gray picks it up. Gray lays it into the foul.
How many times have Thomas got his hands on a ball, coming up with big steal again? Gray is the recipient of it, drives it hard to the hole, finishes strong. Nice job by Justin Gray.
The 3rd Parrish foul, the first points of the night for Gray, and it is the largest Texas Tech lead of the night.
You know, Gray was asked, what did he want to do with himself after college, and the first thing Gray said is he wanted to be an orthopedic doctor, orthopedic surgeon. How many guys you know that play the game of basketball would say that? Most guys say they want to go to the NBA or something like that.
Gray doing it again. He's got his hands right in the thick of things. It'll stay with TCU at 17 to shoot. Remember, Justin Gray passed up the Ivy League. Could have went to Harvard, could have went to Yale, and he opted to come to Texas Tech.
It's true.
Great program down here, one of the best educational institutions, and many of them, including TCU in the state of Texas.
And check this out, folks. He's just a sophomore.
But Collins kind of forced up a 3 early in the shot clock. Not early necessarily, but early in that placing.
Straight back to the officials as he settled down his troops as they come back in and try to get this game back in their control.
Well, that's just the 4th free throw miss of the night for Texas Tech. They're 18 of 22. It's double bonus rest of the way for the Red Raiders. Coacher having a big second half. Largest lead for Texas Tech is at 6. Williams and Washburn both have 4 personal fouls for TCU. Neither is on the floor. Collins all the way inside. That is a big, much-needed bucket for TCU. And Chauncey Collins has 21. That's a new career high for him.
Big drive, big great job by Collins. And if you're Texas Tech, you have to slide over and play defense. Somebody has to come from the help side and help. You dribble all the way from the top of the key.
Gocher, step back. Off target. Bronzianski, good position for the rebound for TCU.
Tough, contested shot by Gocher. I think you could have got a better one than that.
Collins again on the drive. He's doing it all himself now. Adding on to his career night. He's got TCU back within 2.
Well, it's been great backcourt play by Collins and Parrish.
Yep.
And they've been doing the bulk of the work, carrying the load all night long. So Collins, rightfully so, comes out of the break, the timeout, and takes him on his shoulder to score the last 2 baskets for TCU.
Ross triggers a 3. Well short. He's usually a good 3-point shooter. Nothing on that one, and TCU comes back down.
Where here you see Collins just penetrating. The last one he drove to the right, and this one he chose to go to the left, but same results.
He was homeschooled in Oklahoma City, 2-time homeschool player of the year for the Oklahoma City Storm. 2-time dunk champ. This guy's athletic, and he's proven it tonight. He has all season. Second leading scorer for TCU this year, averaging 11 a game. Well above that tonight.
When you talk about a guy with heart, tenacity, and he has it all bundled up in that small frame.
Parrish trying to set up Gray for a shot. Nothing on that one either. Way off to the left.
Poor shot, poor decision by Parrish. The ball just stuck in one hand.
I was going to say, TCU felt like it's just stayed around the perimeter the last couple of
Yeah, it was just way too stagnant, that last offensive possession.
If it's not Collins taking it in, the rest of the offense seems kind of slow.
Both teams like to play inside out, move the ball around, get bodies moving on the defensive end.
Good block by Collins, and he throws it off of Evans, and that expires the shot clock. That's a great play by Chauncey Collins.
What an effort. Great block. Great.
This is TCU basketball on the possession arrow, because when it was possessed by Chauncey Collins, the shot clock should have reset because it's an official change of possession. It was thrown off the leg out of bounds of Evans. They have to go to the alternating possession arrow because no one had possession and a whistle was blown when the ball went out of bounds. That's why TCU gets possession on the arrow. Smith is going to go to the free throw line on a foul. We really appreciate Gary coming over and explaining that to us. So it's technically basically an inadvertent whistle.
You're exactly right. I mean, and TCU appreciated the officials getting it right, and they just weren't able to come up with a basket there, which would have really put them in a better position than where they are now.
Rodzianski picks up his third foul. It would have been TCU basketball anyway, but it's given to them on the arrow because of the inadvertent whistle, not given to them off the hustle play. Zach Smith at the free throw line having a night. 18 points for Zach Smith to go along with 6 rebounds. Texas Tech back up by 4, 5:50 to play. Trent on the drive with the left hand. Good play, Malik Trent. His first points of the half, and he's into double figures.
I'll tell you what, it's been the guards all night for TCU. It's been almost like a three-headed monster.
The backcourt play has been big for TCU tonight. Smith on the drive. Rodzianski picks up his 4th foul. He is the 3rd different Horn Frog that has 4 fouls tonight. A couple of shots coming here for Smith. Over on ESPN, Super Tuesday has Michigan State, Ohio State. But when that thing is done, make sure to tune into Sports Center at night. Kevin Connors and Steve Levy will get you set on all the big stuff going on in a big night of college basketball, plus the NBA and the NHL. Spring training is getting going. Good scene in Boston, spring training today with Big Papi and David Price making amends. Sports Center at night over on ESPN. Zach Smith now has a new career high. He had 19 at Arkansas. He's got 20 tonight. 70-66 Texas Tech.
Texas Tech's doing a great job of stepping up to the line and knocking down shots.
Miller's second effort. Ross clears. 5 minutes to play. Texas Tech trying to make it a 5-game league win streak for the first time in their Big 12 history.
What a great defensive sequence by Texas Tech, just smothering the ball. Miller had absolutely nowhere to go. 6 blocks tonight for Texas Tech.
Team that averages about 4.5. Evans all the way inside, tipped up and in by Aaron Ross. His career night continues. Ties the largest lead for Texas Tech. 4.5 remaining. Collins gets blocked by Evans. J.D. Miller is right there. His second efforts tonight have been huge, and he's into double figures.
Well, we've seen some great individual efforts on both ends of the floor right now. First when Aaron Ross is attacking the ball strong on the offensive rebound, and then back on the other end, Miller is able to do the same.
Chauncey Collins picks up his first foul of the night. You've had 3 different players in this game pick up a new career high in scoring. And Brandon Parrish isn't too far off a new career high either for TCU.
No, it's been some really good ball playing tonight.
Evans knew that free throw was a little off target from the start. Washburn's going to come in. He's got 4 fouls. Sat for about 4.5 minutes, and he's going to come back in.
Well, if you're Texas Tech, the game plan is simple. From here on out, especially since the 10-minute mark, you need to try to get something going to the basket, whether it's throwing the ball on the interior or driving strong, and they've been doing a great job of that.
Now 24 of 29 at the free throw line. TCU is 13 of 19 from the free throw stripe tonight. Here is Parrish. He's been quiet as of late. The latter stages of this second half. Trent, pass Gochert. What a play by Malik Trent. He's got 12.
What a play is right. I mean, Texas Tech has gone to a little 2-3 zone, and Trent was able to drive down the lane on the zone. That can absolutely not happen.
Well, Helpside has had some issues for Texas Tech on defense tonight. You've called it a couple times.
I mean, that's why you go into a zone. You mean, you're guarding an area. You're not guarding the man. So that should not have happened if you're Texas Tech.
Evans, pull up. Gray comes flying in for the putback. He's got 5 all in the second half. Texas Tech back up by 5. 3:05 to go.
Nice athletic play by Justin Gray. Attacking the ball, attacking the hole strong on the offensive glass.
Trent, he'll pull up. That's a 3 for Malik Trent. Big time bucket, and it's a 2-point game.
Big time bucket and well needed. Trent is feeling it. He was able to get all the way to the hole the last possession, and then he was able to just drive and step up and knock down a big 3.
Evans being ridden all the way to the rim by Chauncey Collins. Opportunities coming. You can't afford a loss at home, though, right now. And they have played a back-and-forth ball game all night with TCU.
Well, you're exactly right. It's too late in the season to have a home loss right now, as well as they've been playing. They're playing with a lot of confidence. So, I expect them to just keep doing what they've been doing. They're playing more together as a unit. Just doing a great job.
Up 3 after the split at the line by Keenan Evans. 16 lead changes, 9 ties in this game. A 3-point Texas Tech lead. The game has been played in a 20-point window tonight.
This is the time of year that you want to be playing your best basketball.
Trent off target. They'd scored on 4 of their last 5 trips, but Trent, who's been big tonight, can't connect there. 2:10 to play. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com. Adam Amin, Gerard Ward. It's been a thriller so far in Lubbock tonight.
Well, I like the last possession by TCU. Trent has been the hot man. So out of the break, they went right back to the hot hand. And on cue, Ross with a big basket. Great job by Aaron all night long. Leads this Texas Tech team in scoring with 25 points.
Collins is having a career night as well. No fear. Going to the rim, and he draws the foul.
What about the hang time by Collins? Talk about an athletic move.
He's got 25 and a chance at one more.
TCU stepped up and they tried to use the high screen and roll, and Collins didn't even need the screen and roll. He was able to get to the basket off of the strength of his quickness.
One of their best free throw shooters, their best at 78%. Can't hit the free throw, though. Maintaining a 3-point lead, Texas Tech. 95 seconds remain.
This has been the story for both of these teams, of finishing games in close situations.
Late game execution. Both of these teams have been in tight games. Both of these teams at times have had issues. Texas Tech's been good as of late. Inside.
Miscommunication on defense by TCU leads to a two-handed slam by Evans.
80-75. Collins for 3, and he buried it. He hit the deck as Gray made contact and still knocked down a 3. He's got 28. It's a 2-point game.
You talk about a guy that's playing with supreme confidence. He shot that ball from about 30 foot behind, 3-4 feet behind the 3-point line with no problem. It possibly could have been a 4-point play.
3 timeouts left for Tubby.
Side shot because they've been in the bonus, and so you're shooting free throws.
A double bonus, 2 shots on a defensive foul. Late in the clock, it's Evans. Trying to get free. Evans driving, and it's blocked. Ross fires. Can't connect. Smith with the putback. With 31.1 to go, it's a 4-point lead.
What a rebound by Smith. Showing us some of that.
State for 6 for the win tonight. They're up by 4. 2-possession game. Collins going to the rim. Got it blocked by Zach Smith. Coacher's there. Now you got a foul for TCU. It's a Trent foul, sending a 66% shooter to the line.
Well, TCU got the ball in the hands of the guy they wanted. They got the ball to the hot hand Collins, and he drove to the basket strong. But hey, when you got a guy like Zach Smith that's been playing extremely well, he's long, he's athletic, great heads-up play, great individual effort, great block by Zach Smith.
2 free throws here. Again, he's a 66% shooter. One of the lower percentages on this team, the 3rd lowest percentage of a normal rotation guy.
Well, if you were going to foul anyone for TCU, he would have been the guy to foul.
Since 1 of 2. 15 seconds left. Now you got to hurry for TCU. And is that going to be a foul on Gray? It is. He knocked down Chauncey Collins as he was trying to cut.
Well, I'll tell you what.
8 points.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do if you're TCU. You want to make this a one-possession game.
Trent comes off. Williams comes in. That's a defensive substitution for TCU.
And if I'm TCU, if Collins make this shot, I want to get set really quick.
Loose rebound. Washburn tried to save it, and it's grabbed by Smith. Time winding down. Gocher tapped it to Gray. Seconds ticking away. And .6 left on the clock, and Texas Tech is going to win this one.
Well, I'll tell you what I was going to say. If Collins made the shot, you want to try to line up quick and get a quick steal, but that was all negated when Collins missed the free throw.
This will be the 5th straight conference win. First time they've had a 5-game conference win streak since their final year in the Southwest Conference. 95-96.
What a job Tubby Smith has done here with this young Texas Tech team.